Hello, everyone. My name is Wade Wallaby, and welcome to another one. This just recently, about maybe a few hours ago, NASA administrator told us about a disconnection. We have officially have lost contact, or I should say, we have stopped contacting Opportunity. What is Opportunity Rover, if you ask? In 2004, these two rovers called Spirit and Opportunity, they landed on Mars in 2004. You probably heard of this, but it's not like the Curiosity rover, like a big rover, but the two of them are the exact same. So why is Opportunity so special, and why did it just end it, and why we haven't been talking about Spirit? Well, first of all, Spirit, had a bad luck. It didn't have much spirit to all of its spirits must have left before it even got to Mars. So as soon as it landed, malfunctions were everywhere. It did find some evidence, but soon in 2009, it got stuck on in the sand, on Martian sand, and we lost contact in 2010. Although Opportunity stepped going at Endeavor Crater, or I should say, it was going to Marathon Crater, um, or something like that. And it's huge. If you look at it, it's a long drive. It's the longest ever lasting rover to a different planet, I should say. It trusts your body longer than the Apollo rover missions, which were probably, and longer than, of course, Lalakud rovers that were actually the first trusted body rovers, of course, Soviets. But Opportunity, there was a dust storm. Now, this, of course, you probably would never know if you don't know about space. A dust storm occurs pretty much like some days, usually like it lasts for months. And tell me, I actually witnessed it before. And I was just like starting to get liking Opportunity. And it's just a shame that we lose communication with Opportunity. Now, I really don't care about Spirit because that was years ago. I started to pay attention to space in 20, yeah. But in 2012, I didn't know about space that well. So, Opportunity, what happened to it? Didn't get stuck. The dust storm, it has solar powers. It has solar powered, and when you cover up a solar panel, you don't get charged. It has internal batteries, and it has two. This actually is people never tell you this, but there's actually two RTGs in there that are extremely small just to keep it warm, but they're not enough to keep charge up. Eventually, they're so small watts that even it's probably not enough power to keep the. If it was, it would have had the clock, and we would have communication. But the RTGs doesn't have enough power to compensate. That'd be kind of interesting. That means that both rovers could have been survived, you know. But it was very windy there. We believe that the solar panels must have cleaned out because of the wind. And don't say of conspiracy theorists. A lot of people say that aliens did it or some person. It was actually just Martian wind because the Mars has an atmosphere and there's wind and stuff. And it's not that bad. I mean, you barely feel it because you're having a spacesuit, but a robot can tell you, but barely what it feels like out there. You know, it feels like kind of cold, or the highest temperature usually is 80 degrees Fahrenheit. That's that much. It's usually like minus and stuff, or maybe 11 degrees usually, I think. It's probably extremely bitter cold in the poles because that's cold enough to freeze carbon. If it freezes carbon to the poles, all that white stuff is not water. It's carbon. It's like dry ice. Now, Opportunity roved around for a very long time, and I remember this. This was a catastrophic thing, and I just was stumped of what was the plan. Now, of course, Opportunity Rover got into a dust storm on July 5th or June or wherever, and this dust storm was the worst ever. And I saw the battery power usage, and it was the lowest I have ever seen on the charts on Wikipedia. And it was just like, what? No wonder it died, because it was this small of a charge last recorded, which means, that's like it should have went back to sleep even before, but I guess it was just, wasn't right, and failed, of course. Um and if you basically, just heard about this from me, you're probably really interested and surprised that you missed all the fun. But some of you that you just don't care usually, but obviously people usually will care. And what I need to do, and I should have put the category not gaming, that's where I messed up, as I always try to edit it. Good. So apparently, yeah, opportunity, the solar panels got covered up by the dust storm. It went to low power mode, but it just couldn't, the mission time messed up because it was so low. And then when it basically woke up, it didn't transmit any data because it basically was confused, which makes no sense. It would have communicated us. We were communicating for like a long time. Maybe the solar power should cover it. They don't have a picture of it from the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, which I don't know. They should. Maybe they are. Maybe when it gets into position, because yeah, I remember it. It has to be precise. I mean, they're in orbit. It has to take a while. But of course, Curiosity is just like, no problem. Roves around, no problem. Just survived any dust storm, still functions because it has an RTG that's powerful enough. Landed in 2012. It's a big rover. It's size of a car. Spirit and Opportunity, they're moderate. They're not big. They're just moderate, and uh, I mean, Pathfinder. You know how small Pathfinder is. Of course, that's real scale, but not the Cernjaya rover. The Pathfinder lander, not the Cernjaya, but Pathfinder lander. If you notice that the pole, that's not real. That's not accurate because it's supposed to be struts. The camera supposed to whoop. It's like extends outwards. It doesn't go up and down. It's permanently up once it like detaches and it goes up because like locks into place. Not boo 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 boo. Okay, that's not what it does. All right, and the solar panels. If there was supposed to be no parachute there, so Matt Damon, if he basically went there, he would have not seen a parachute, and of course, it wouldn't be closed. The camera would have been up already, and it would be permanently up. It would be harder to transport, because it's the movie, and there was supposed to be a stick that comes out or something, and the Cernjaya rover should have been right, and it should have been not buried that deep. I mean, it could have been buried just a tiny bit, but still, depending how windy it is or how movement it is or how it stand there, because it's been there for a while. If we went to Malaysia right now, it would have basically been the same. The Cernjaya rover would have been right where it was. It would probably, and it would be basically impossible to recover. You could hack it, but still, it's like a stick, and it's extremely heavy, but it's not too heavy, so it will be lightweight. And supposed to be so the Martian movie is not that realistic when you come to history, and some of the things are flawed. I mean, not because it's conspiracy theories, it's because it's not the original. So that's not Pathfinder. That's not the real Pathfinder. That's some type of other Pathfinder from a different dimension. So yeah, um, I guess they had to. Maybe they were, but I guess they could because for cover reason because that's just the lander. I mean, well, maybe because so they can fold it up, pick it up, but no, they should have just like put the original there, and people thinking that has a this thing. Well, of course we lost contact, but yeah, that's why I noticed that. So that was a bit of a glitch. Um, the surgery rover is fine. I think there's the antenna. Hopefully, there's the antenna on there. The surgery rover is fine. It's just a little rover. It didn't work that much, and but there was supposed to be when there's supposed to be like a some type of like a ramp, and the ramp was like made of like I should say silk, like I don't know, like a rubber or something, not rubber, but some type of like movement, and had like little struts, and the surgery rover goes out. I think it wasn't there, and it was wrapped up into a roll, and it like unrolled itself, and like like that, so the surgery rover could come out. I don't know because it does not do that. It can only go permanently. Um, so yeah, it's definitely not like that. And if you realize that pole is like more longer than it's supposed to be, so it goes through that thing. If it was actually real, of course, the Martian. I mean, I get credit for it. It looks realistic. The dust storms are too wicked, and yeah, I have a beer. I don't know. I can't find the shade. So yeah, that's the only way we can simplify this is, well, I obviously don't know. I mean, well, I mean, yeah. So there you have it. Mars Oppatuaty rover has officially been, well, we just stopped communicating with it because, I don't know, they just gave up, and it's just kind of extremely sad. But in the far future, we're probably able to basically, they'll make recovery. And once we get there, we'll definitely have a recovery. We'll definitely try to see. My God. But of course, if, if the if the Martian, would have had like opportunity or spirit, that would be cool. But maybe it could be a Martian too. Yeah, I guess that'd be cool. But like, hey, or they could be, well, yeah. I mean, so oh my god! Of course, I wish the surviving Mars would have like the Curiosity rover. They mentioned it, put it in the museum, but I would like to see it like displayed, like the actual and high quality Curiosity rover. And I love to have the opportunity and Spirit rover too in the game. So any developers out there, like from Paradox, please add it. And if you have it in your mind, do it because I would love to have it. Unless if there's a or I should say add-on for it, which new people that make things much more better. A huge rover, and then of course the colonist has figured out something. So there you have it. Mars.